Morning, everybody. Or it's not morning for probably most people. I always say that, but how's everyone doing?
Hi, good evening. We good. I'm good.
Hi, Josh.
Hey, Sam. Hey, Andrea. Is my audio okay? I'm using like a different mic.
Yeah, it's good. It's loud and
Yeah,
clear.
sounds great.
Nice, nice. Hello, Nirvana TR box. Did I say that correctly? Nirvana TR box. I see Stephen Cruz is in here. Oh, the threat hunt is ending pretty soon. That reminds me. Who else is here? Afolabi. Did I say that correctly? And Eric Norman. And I thought I saw Trevino. It might have been my imagination though. Oh, Chin is here. Oh, I see. I see him. Cool. So if anyone's like a brand new here, these calls are just we just talk about pretty much whatever related to anything. It usually ends up being cybersecurity or people doing QAs, and then if anyone has questions, feel free to ask me, and I will try to like defer to everyone else on the call as well, because everyone provides like a lot of value for these calls. But I don't really have any announcements. I'm just doing a lot of stuff at the same time. We released like those new like a Sec AI deck in the video on YouTube, and then we released one more video for the cybersecurity AI agentic AI course. This in the lesson we just released, we're actually doing like agentic remediation where it will isolate the virtual machine, like the agent will isolate the virtual machine based on certain conditions for the people who are doing that. But yeah, if anyone has any questions, feel free.
Hi, Josh. I have questions, a couple of questions actually,
Cool.
centered around content creation because I am thinking of starting a business around that. And I know that you've been in the space for a bit. So I just have a couple of questions. So let me get right to it.
It's
Yeah. So the
exciting.
first, yeah. So the first question is, how did you get started with the gigs on Cost Careers?
Like what do you mean? Like the selling of the course or like
Yeah, the sell of the course. Did they reach out to you or did you reach out to them? Like, what was that like?
yeah, so that's a good question. For people who don't know, like I sell a course on Course Careers, like how to get into IT. And actually, so I didn't okay, this is what happened. I didn't have to partner with them. I was already like a YouTuber at the time. I think I had like a 10 or 12K subscribers or something like this. And I'm actually making a video where I talk about what happened like in depth, but um
Okay.
basic basically like the progression for how that goes is you start like uploading videos to YouTube, and then try to like do your best and make good content, and talk about what you did and how the audience can do the same thing. And if your content is good, people will like start asking you questions, and then you'll respond to all the questions and you'll make more content, and this will keep happening more and more, and then you'll get to the point where you can't really respond to everybody's questions because it's kind of takes too much time. And at that point, that's kind of a good indicator that you can make some kind of a product. Like either you can do coaching and make tiers for how people can contact you, or you can try to address everyone in like a larger scale by making a course or something like this. So I tried to do coaching first, and then I was like, this, like people were buying it, they would like buy it up immediately, but it's really hard for me to like do coaching with people because it's talking with like new
Yeah.
people every time. It's like it's really tough.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I was like, how can I do this at scale? So I had like pressure because I had enough audience where people would for sure buy it because they were trying to pay for my time. So I was like, all right, I'll just make a course. So I just like started making a course independently, and it could have done well. But somebody introduced me to the Course Careers CEO, like another larger YouTuber. I don't know if you look up Shane Hummus. We're like not really friends anymore, but
Okay.
that guy introduced me to Course Careers, and to be honest, like I would have released the course on my own, and it would have done well on its own because I already had like the marketing engine, which is YouTube. So like if I were to like give you some advice, for sure, if you make some kind of like content and it's good, they will probably partner with you if you approach them and you have like enough like channel or whatever, because that's why they were like okay to work with me. But if someone like Course Careers is willing to partner with you to like sell their course, you don't have to do it. You could just
Okay.
sell it independently, and there's
Okay.
there's like plus sides and downsides to both. So
Okay.
if you're at the point where you can work with them, you could do it independently, and then you can just like ask me or like other people, and I'll be like really transparent. But yeah, I talked a lot more than what you asked. But do you have any
No, it's
questions?
fine. I got another question. So concerning still on Cost Careers, is the affiliate program still working? Like, say I want to sell your course. I don't really have my own course at the time, and then I want to like market your course and then sell it out to people who are reaching out. Like, is it still live? Is it still working? Is it still working?
Yeah, it still works, and we still get money from it. We can
Okay.
see exactly how much we get from it. But I can tell you, like in my contract, I think people get $200 or 300, 200 something. I can't remember. Like if
Okay.
you sell it, you'll get like 2 or 300, 200 maybe. And then if
Okay.
you sell it, I will get like $50, and then Course Careers will pocket the rest of it. Um,
Okay.
something exists with the cyber range as well.
Yeah, that's the next question I was going to ask. If
Oh, yeah.
the affiliate program on the cyber range is still on, is it still on the affiliate program? How does that work?
Yeah, it's on still. And then let me.
Okay.
Oh, I can't share. I was going to share my screen, but if you go to like the about page on the side range, there'll be like
Okay.
an invite link, and if you use that to invite people,
Mhm.
you'll currently get for as long as they're a member, you'll get 10% of their membership per month, like indefinitely forever until they cancel.
Okay.
I'm okay to like increase that for. Okay, so I can't increase that on an individual basis. But if
Okay.
somebody wants to do like some legit partnership or something, or they have like some kind of following, like we can pay out more than 10%.
Okay.
But I have to set it globally, so it's just set at 10%. And
Okay.
that one,
So
oh, go
no,
ahead, go ahead.
Go ahead. I'm listening.
Oh, I was just gonna say like that one might be better because I don't have I trust like Troy and course careers, but I don't have insight into like
Okay.
the money part exactly. So we can't like perfectly audit them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Um,
I get it. I get that. Okay. So your advice would be instead of doing the affiliate program with Cost Careers, I could just do the cyber range affiliate program.
yeah, you can. And
Okay.
I'll benefit from both of those. Like how much I can't really say, but the cyber range the cyber range is like a subscription based, and it's like a
Mm-hmm.
lower barrier to entry, and it's like a based on monthly recurring revenue. So
Okay.
I tend to like that better because our income was like this when it was
Mhm.
like mostly courses, but now with the cyber range, it's more like flat.
Streamlined. Okay. Okay. I get that. Okay. I asked all these questions. So, I mean, I just want to share this experience. So in case anyone out there is looking into it. So I'm asking all these questions because, for the longest time that I remember, I've been thinking about going into content creation, but like, life happens and then you just have to pivot. And then just recently with the post that I made on LinkedIn, I've been getting a lot of questions and people asking how do they start a career in IT, and for the most part, I tell them, hey, I just send them the community link, the free community link, like, hey, join the link. But what I noticed was they always come back to me, like what do I do? What do I do? What's the community about? I explain and I explain and explain again and again, but they always still come back. Um, this morning I had a 2-hour conversation with someone who reached out to me like 2 weeks ago, and he was looking forward to actually having a video conversation with me, and then like advice or mentor. He says he's looking for a mentor. I was thinking the meeting was gonna be like 30 minutes, but we ended up spending 2 hours, right?
Mm.
And after spending 2 hours, I told him, hey, you just have to join the cyber range community. He said he was going to do it. We talked about resume building, mostly everything. I had to actually share my screen with him to tell him, hey, everything I'm telling you now, you're going to learn it from the community and the cyber range community, right? So with that in mind, I'm like, okay, cool. I guess I'm at that point where I should start creating content and explaining what the cyber range is all about and how people can benefit from the cyber range and the community. So I'm just thinking, how do I more or less make a little bit of side hustle, get paid for doing that on the side. So Yeah, that's pretty much what I have to share right now. So yeah, thank you for the advice. I guess I'll just get to it, start creating content, and then just push people to Cyber Range. Oh yeah, and that leads to the final question. So I know we started off as 1,000. We're about 1,200. Is there a limit? Is there a cap limit? Because I know, resources, it all depends on how much resources people can use in the Cyber Range. Do you have a limit to the amount of people that can get on the Cyber Range? Do you have a cap?
There's technically kind of a cap.
Okay.
There's two. The first one is, I guess I don't need to share my screen for this, but the first cap
Okay.
is like the in Azure, like every subscription can only have like 980 resource groups. And we met the first cap, so we expanded the subscription and load balance members between them. And then
Okay.
the second cap is tenable licensing. So there's currently a theoretical cap of like it's about, what is that, 1960 users currently, about 1900 cap. But if
Okay.
it really reaches that, we'll just like scale it out. We'll just get a third subscription and then peer the VNets.
Okay.
Um,
Okay. Okay.
so
That makes sense.
there's kind of a cap, but like not, we can
Okay.
make it work, but it's like it makes work, but that's a good problem to have.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Josh. I'll keep quiet now.
Yeah, and I want to like say to you, all that stuff you're describing is like really, really good indicator that you should make content.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
my indicator was a lot of people in my personal life were trying to get into IT, and I realized that my advice was like working for them, and I was like, damn, I should scale this. And your
Okay.
indicator is like stronger than mine already, because you're already on social media, like
Oh,
on LinkedIn, and those
yeah.
people you're already doing meetings with people, right? So
Yeah, like he literally, I told him, hey, join the Cyber Range. I didn't feel like I was I don't want to use wordy, I didn't feel like I had the authority to decide how you want to live your life, or I didn't feel like I was an authority to tell him, hey, this is how you go about it, right? So, but he kept insisting that, hey, he just want to have a meeting, just want to have a FaceTime with me, and I think he was looking for validation to show that I'm a real person, probably not like a bot or something. I don't know what it was, right? Yeah,
yeah.
but we spoke for a very long time. I gave him advice, and most of the advice he kept saying, oh, he didn't know that he could do that. More context, just to give more context. Resume building. He's at a point where he's trying to pivot into the IT field. He has two certs. He has the A plus and he has the Network plus, but he didn't still feel confident, right? So
Damn.
he's saying, yeah, he had the A plus and the Network plus, but he didn't feel confident, right? And he has just been grinding with life, door dashing, side hustles, and all that. So one question that he asked was, what does he put on his resume? And I had to advise him, like, hey, A plus itself has a lot of if you look at the curriculum of A plus, right, you could craft out experience from it, just like how we're doing now in the Cyber Range, right? Let's say you fixed someone's computer, right? You were able to troubleshoot the computer and find out that it had a problem, right? And then you document that and you put it out there. That is something that can go on your resume. And he was like, "Oh wow, he can do that." I said, "Yeah, you're not lying. You actually did the work, but it counts as experience. It's not a lie," because he was worried that if he puts things that he feel he hasn't done before, it's going to look like he's a fraud. I was like, "No, he's going to look like he's a fraud." I was like, "No, that's you did it. Did you do it or not?" Because I asked one of the questions I asked was, "Are you confident with fixing stuff? If something breaks, can you confidently fix it?" So I was like, "Yeah, that he fixes phones." He fixes desktops, and I was like, "Yeah, put it in your resume, and that's all you need." And then just because we now spoke about how companies had to take him, share my screen, took him to Indeed, showed him the requirements and job listings, right? And like, okay, one was like, "Oh, ServiceNow. Are you able to use ServiceNow?" And he was like, "Oh yeah, that he knows about ServiceNow." I was like, "Even if you don't know about ServiceNow, is this something you can learn in 2 hours?" Like in 3 hours, and then you're confident and you can use it. I was like, yeah, he can do that. I was like, put it on your resume, but it was, long story short, I think it was a very fruitful meeting, because he's looking forward to the next one. And I'm like, okay, but I really advise you just join the Cyber Range because I can't be the only person trying to. I feel like the community is a better place for you to learn more and add value to what you're trying to achieve, the end goal that you're trying to achieve. So yeah, thank you.
Yeah, no problem. I could talk about this a lot. I'll probably like make a post or something. And
Okay.
I'll think about like increasing the affiliate commission like globally. I'm just worried about it that people are going to be like 40% and then like go out and do too much or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's, I don't know. You did like a whole coaching call. Like people try to do like coaching calls with me, and
Wow. Okay.
I'm okay. But if I do it like from an economic standpoint, when I ask ChatGPT like how much I should charge for like one-on-one time, it ends up being
Yeah.
like $1,000 or something for like 90
He,
minutes.
he
So I just
actually told. Yeah, he told me someone actually tried to charge him $1,000 just to be his mentor.
yeah.
Yeah.
If I do it, I have to charge like $1,000 because
Yeah.
if I consider like context switching and like revenue and like all this. So when people ask me, I just tell them to like just join the Cyber Range, and then we do like a call every week, and you can just like talk to me like this. And if you like really want to talk to me, I'll just like hang back for like 15 minutes or something one-on-one.
Yeah.
And I've never like received like $1,000 from someone because they usually just like join the Cyber Range.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me know like if you start
Okay.
doing content. I can give you all kinds of like whatever advice if you want it, or I can do like
Yeah.
like a what's it called, a collab with you when you launch your thing, if that helps you.
Oh,
If
wow.
you want.
Okay.
So just like let me know.
I really appreciate that. I'll let you know. I'll definitely let you know because something, like I said, is something that I've been meaning to do for a very long time. I'm sure you can see this, right? Like I literally bought this over the weekend,
Nice.
So yeah, something. I'll definitely reach out.
Yeah, that's exciting. Well, thanks.
Thank you.
And then Chin, I see your hands up. How are you doing?
Yeah. Can you hear me, Josh?
Yes, you're loud.
I got a new earbud from my son, a Regent. Yeah. Recently, I was on holiday in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. And after doing all this shopping and, eating out, I was getting need a bit of intellectual stimulation. So I went into Udemy. I heard about this Jason Dion's course. So I look at it and it show up I'm from Australia, right? But in Malaysia, the currency is in ringgit. So I said, wow, this is 1/3 the price. So I subscribed to the course, Jason Dion. My question is, leading from this is, how does a company like Dion, if someone uses a VPN and try to like pretend they are in Malaysia and try to subscribe using Malaysian ringgit, which is 1/3 the price of Australia, how do you detect that and how do you stop it? Is it possible?
Oh, you mean like somebody's trying to like use their
Use a
geo
VPN and pretend to be a Malaysian VPN, right?
and it gets
And then
cheaper?
try to subscribe, like pretending to be a Malaysian. How can you stop that?
I don't know, to be honest. Well, you probably have to like, I don't know, probably the same way China blocks all those like well-known VPNs. They probably have some like kind of intelligence feed where they have like a list of VPN IP addresses or something, and then maybe they'll just like let their CDN to block people trying to connect from IP addresses in their list or something. Other than that, like I don't really know. I think airline tickets or airline companies do this too, where it's like slightly cheaper for people who are in like different areas. But I don't know. Am I understanding the question correctly? Like if you're in a different location, it becomes cheaper.
Yeah, correct. It's 1/3 the price, right?
Oh yeah.
One Australian dollar is 3 Malaysian ringgit. So I'm paying the same price, but in Malaysian ringgit. So I'm paying for the Dion Jason Udemy course 1/3 of the price. I mean, how do you stop people to like try to take advantage of the location using a VPN?
You probably
I don't know whether this is a cyber threat or not, but it's for their business model. It going to crack their business model because they have different pricing for different countries. I think the same with Coursera. I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, there's probably, if they really want to stop people from doing it, I'm sure there's like something they can subscribe to that has like a list of all common VPNs, and it just will stop them from purchasing it. Or if they connect from like one of the VPNs, then they just get like the full price, whatever that is. That's what comes to mind. But I'm sure if like we Google or ChatGPT will give us a better answer. But does anyone else listening like have any insight into this or any thoughts?
Yeah, pretty much what you just said. And honestly, it's really hard to get around it because I can move my location in my VPN and go anywhere if you got a real good thing like that. It really don't even matter. So just do your best, do what Josh said, and don't let that get to you. Because people, if they want to get around and be like they're in Malaysia or whatever, just to get a $5 discount, they gonna figure out a way how to do it. Like I said, yeah, what Josh said. Because, yeah.
If I was like Coursera or whatever, and I wanted to prevent people from doing that, I would either like make it on my own, or I would subscribe to get a feed. And then if anyone like was connecting from any of those VPNs, I would just like give them the full price, if this makes sense. Otherwise, then I would just give them their geo.
I think that, George, that's the assumption that they identify that a lot of people are using that Malaysian VPN from Malaysia to do this, you know. But this thing is not like high frequency, so every now and then you can't tell, right?
Yeah. I don't know. I know what you mean though, and I experienced this. I forget what I was trying to do. I was trying to buy something when I was in Thailand, and it was like quite a bit cheaper. And then I connected to like the hotel's Wi-Fi, and I think that became like American or something. And then the price changed, and I was like, what the heck?
I see.
But yeah.
Thanks a lot. Anyway, just curious what people think about this. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
No problem. And then, hey, Trevino, how are you?
Yeah, I got a funny, wild story that happened this week. It's pretty fun. So AT&T, one of the recruiters, reached out to me. I'm like, okay, I already got enough jobs. No, so let me just see what they're talking about. Let me just go into the interview. So I get in the interview. I had a strange feeling. I was like, man, why do I want to roast these people? And I have not even got into the interview yet. I know when I'm kind of like, I know something up. So I got in the interview. It was legit. So everything was legit. It was like four guys. And I said, oh, they finna try to tag team me. They finna trying to drill me. So I'm like, all right. So they come in, introduce themselves. Yeah, we've been here 20 years. Y'all got this. They come out their credentials. I'm like, oh, okay. They like, yeah, we've been looking at your resume, your YouTube, and your GitHub. We're trying to figure out how you do all this without searching a degree. We don't understand. We're trying to figure out how. We still trying to figure out how things work with the agentic world and security stuff at AT&T, but you kind of running whole audits. I said, yeah, I just made my own framework up based off how to secure it. I said, they're going to have to update all those books and all those stuff on the framework securing AI. He was like, huh? Wait, what? I said, okay, it's going to be one of these interviews. I came to play anyway. I'm about that smoke. I like that, I like that drama sometimes. So I get up in there. So they start talking. Like, yeah. So they asked me a question. I'm like, okay. Answer a little question. It was like real simple little question. I'm asking answer. But what was crazy, every time I would answer, no, that's not it. It's this, and that. I said, that's what I just said. I said, you just repeated back to me what I just said. This how I'm talking to him in the meeting. I'm like, okay, what's your next question? Ask me a question, answer that. No, that's not it. That's not it. I said, unless the book just changed 5 minutes ago, something's wrong. I said, you just repeated back to me what I just told you. I said, hold up, let's wait. I said, let's take a step back. I said, what is this job about? What's the role? What stack y'all using? What's your goals? What problem trying to stop? No, we're not gonna answer your question. We're not telling you what the job is until we done questioning you. I said, look, bro. I said, man, I went off. I crashed out and went off. I said, look, I just straight told them, said, hey, all y'all right here, drilling. I said, once y'all boss find out y'all doing this, I said, right now, I'm creating the AI to replace all of y'all. I said, so don't worry. I'm gonna come work for y'all. And I got a Agenta AI to replace everybody there. Just because I don't have a cert or a degree, I said, that don't mean nothing. I said, y'all just jealous. I said, you know what else? Peace out. Bye. And I'll go and end the meeting. So it was pretty, like I said, it was pretty. I was like, this is the weirdest, crazy me. Because they was trying to figure out, they was like, because right now they said they just released Agenta AI. They said everybody trying to figure out how to secure it. I'm like, you just put certain guardrails on it. You put the top 10 OWASP from a red team perspective, and you put these, the infrastructure as code, policy as code, stuff like that. That was like, what? I said, oh man, these folks know what the hell I'm even talking about. So yeah, but it was kind of funny. Like I said,
Are they
yeah,
trying
that
to
was
get?
kind of.
Are they trying to get like free work from you? Are they trying to like figure out what you're doing so they can use it or something? Or
So they wanted to hire me, but I'm like, I want to take the job. I just wanted to see like what AT&T was doing, And they were trying to, yeah, we can hire. I'm like, but you got to tell me what the job is and what I'm gonna be doing. I was like, look, I already got options. I already got jobs. I'm not finna waste y'all time. Y'all already in here being petty. I'm out now. I just ended the meeting and hung up. One was like, no, wait. We're not wait. I said, nope, click, bye.
wait, that's really crazy. You should have like screen recorded that next time.
Man, I know, right? I was hyped that whole day. I was like, nah, I said, man, I just straight told them, I said, AI don't replace people just like y'all. I said, y'all trying to figure out what I'm doing, how I'm doing it, and won't tell me what's up, what's going on. If I can help you solve your process, I can't help you. I just hung up. Just left the meeting. Like, was that my first meeting like that? Nah, I had a few of those where people try to come in and talk crazy and try to drill. Like I said, I don't let people drill me. Like I said, because if they'll drill you and act that crazy in the interview, it's gonna be worse when you get on the job. It's gonna be way worse. But yeah. And Andre, we got in the update, sis. Like I said, Andre got a new job. She big girl over there, got the new cybersecurity job, making big money and stuff. Yeah.
Oh, there's two.
Ain't nothing really going on as of yet. It's a build out, so that's why.
It's a build out. Okay.
Yeah, this is just my first week, so we're just putting the policies and the knowledge base and everything together right now. So we're not doing the big stuff yet.
Wow, so you're gonna see everything from the ground up. That's gonna be good.
Exactly. But so far so good. I'm excited.
Do they have you what are they having you do like when you're building everything out? Having you like study the stack or something, or what do you have to do?
Well, right now, because it's just really, hold on, I'm sorry. I'm at a car wash.
It's okay.
Well, right now, because they're, they're recycling the house. So they're getting rid of the old culture and hiring new. The IT team is the first thing that they have. Which way should I go? Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. And so they're like building a clinic. They have the IT department. They're literally starting fresh because they at first had no foundation at all.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
Cool.
So it's just not myself that's career transitioning. The team itself, it's like 4 of us and 1 veteran. So we're all learning from the beginning.
Well, that's cool. It's like it's a chance to build a new culture from the start.
Yeah, it's pretty good though. I could say that the veteran himself he's very knowledgeable and he has a lot of patience and willing to teach all of us, what he knows.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Do you got any experience in with Azure? What's it called? I think it's called Entra ID, like the IAM software stuff. You got any? Because I know AWS just got the IAM, put stuff to the IAM. And so, do you have any experience with the Azure system? Because I know what's the AWS got most of got most of everybody, but I know everybody kind of starting to play with the Azure identity stuff.
Yeah, the whole CyberRange identity is based on that, and like
okay,
these are like all the CyberRange members, and I think you can actually see a lot of stuff in here. I believe But yeah, I have some experience with it. I'm not like super like strong in it. I understand like global permissions and security groups and those like conditional access policy and stuff like this. But if I were to try to take like SC300, that's like the IAM one, I would just like fail it, right? Because I didn't study that. But I have like I have some decent, at least enough knowledge to make the cyber range and then manipulate stuff in Entra ID with the API. But beyond that, it's like pretty basic.
Okay, sweet, yeah. Yeah, I know that's a big thing, how they kind of starting to secure the agentic AI. That's one of the main things they kind of using, on the AWS side. They just, give it a, like I said, make it a function, make it out of an app, and then kind of give it an identity and least privileges and stuff like that. So if anybody try anything, if you try to do something crazy, kind of flag or whatever.
Yeah, actually, our agentic AI, the one that you're building with the cyber range, it's actually tied to your identity in here, like this, your ID identity. Like when you do the AZ login on the command line. So for example, like if you do like one of these, and then you will like when you log in here, like you will log in with your your crazy cyber range ID, and then it will, after you do that, the agent it's like tied to your Azure ID, and then all that stuff it's doing, like the KQL queries, and then the remediation, like the quarantine and isolation of virtual machines. All those are actually like tied to your identity. So
Okay.
yeah, I don't know. Did you get that far? Did you start doing the isolating one yet?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I already did it, and I don't know if you're gonna do it or not, or if y'all almost done the course. Are you planning on putting like some kind of security like embedded in with the not with AWS, with the agentic AI? Kind of like pretty much the OPA, open policy agent, the RIGO, or the infrastructure as code, like stuff like that, kind of like embedded in, where it's kind of like in the code, where it can kind of block some of the top 10 OR stuff. Like say if somebody try to make the agentic AI do something they don't need to do, or they try to extract data and stuff.
I wasn't okay. All that stuff you said, actually, I don't know what most of that is. I know it like a lot.
Bro, I'm still learning with that. People at work don't even know what's even going on. It's nuts. So that's why I'm just kind of picking your brain, not to put you on the spot, and I just found kind of like, all right, let me see what Josh knows. No, you good?
It's okay. Well, what I was planning to, at least I know what OWASP is. So I'm planning to, I'm gonna finish that course like pretty soon, because the agent, I just want it to be like really basic, and then the internship stuff around it, like the projects and stuff that people can do, I'll like propose a lot of stuff for them that they can do. So one of the things will be like actually securing the agent, and then that's why, like, when you told me about the LLM OWASP top 10, I was like, oh, I should just like write this down. So people can like secure the agent, and they can use like the OWASP top 10 to secure it. And the way the internship credit will work is they will like implement whatever they're going to do, and then record it, and then demo it, and then put it on their GitHub, and then they'll submit like that link on their internship tracking sheet. So that could be like something that people will do, because the agent itself is in the course is going to be really basic. So if I start making it too complicated, like low key, that takes a lot of time for me to do. But it's like I don't want it to get too complicated for people either. I want like a really core thing for them to do, and then for them to like build their own stuff on top of it, just to like help their learning. So I will like do some of that stuff that you said, but I don't know what all of that is, except for like the OWASP top 10, to be honest.
Don't worry. It took me a minute. Because it's like it's pretty much top 10 OWASP just for AI apps and LLM. It's like a whole nother ball game. It's like, man. And like I said, and people, they pretty much everybody just releasing agentic AI apps into the wild with no compliance, no nothing. And like I said, trying to figure out how to do the compliance, what's the best way to scale. A lot of people kind of doing using the AWS, they whole ecosystems to kind of like use Terraform and like I said, policy infrastructure as code and policy as code to kind of like check it when it's like that. So it's like it's like wrapped around it in the code. If it's not true or this or that, it won't like let it load up on it. So it's kind of like configuration within the pipeline and the CI and CD and stuff like this. Yeah. But no, that's cool, man.
Yeah, that's a lot.
It's yeah, bro. It's like a whole nother world. But they throwing money at people. You know, if you can even halfway know how to do it or know how to do it, yeah.
Cool.
So
And then-
what you're doing it's awesome, man. Like I said, keep it up, bro. And like I said, it's definitely the future. It's definitely the future.
Yeah, thanks. I'm glad you're diving into it so much. It helps me a lot, actually. Then Jake Boyd, how are you doing?
About that. I was just wondering, can you check if Windows-host, that's the name of the device, is there something wrong with it? Because there's not logs being generated, and I created it yesterday, made sure obviously it's in the right resource group. I even added a like allow all outbound because I didn't know if that was the issue. NSG.
Yeah.
But I usually don't have issues with it. But I created it yesterday and did a bunch of failed logins, obviously, to like test it, and did the same thing today, and I still don't have any logs in Sentinel or Defender. So
Yeah, let me check here. I'm showing too much. Oh my god. All right, hold on. Let me do. I have to MFA this. Josh, login Pacific. 1 second. It's okay if you guys see this, because it like gets regenerated anyway, and you don't know the password. All right. So let me even device info, where device name equals Windows host. I'll see if it even like has the agent on it, I guess. Windows host. So I see it in here. So it's probably not going to show up in here if it is not showing up in here. So 1 second. Starts with those. I wonder if it didn't get onboarded to Defender for Endpoint. Do you remember if you installed the package on it, like the Defender package?
I don't think so.
Okay. It should install like automatically eventually, but it sometimes like takes time to do it. So you might just want to try to manually install it. So we can go to oh my god, I haven't done this for like a long time. Does anyone know? No. Configuration. For sure it's all right, hold on.
Now I think that might be the problem. Like I said, like what you're saying, what you just told them. If it's not showing up on this device, it's not.
It's not onboarded. Yeah, he did not onboard it. So you need to onboard it, otherwise it's not going to show up in the query.
Okay, let me see. Oh, I think I'm here. Onboarding. Okay. And then you can there's like in the course, actually, what am I doing? Let me do this. Classroom onboarding. Because you can't for whatever reason, like you guys are not allowed to onboard it this way, because this is like super high privilege or whatever. But I took the thing and I rehosted it, and then you can just download the onboarding package and then onboard it.
Yeah, it's a PowerShell commandlet, isn't it?
I think it's here. I'll put
Command line.
I'll put this in the chat. This is the lesson, and then I'll put the actual link. I think it is. It is. It's like a bash, a bash script or something like this. Oh, here it is. So here's the actual package. The device name is just Stephen Cruz. It's just Windows host like this. And then for sure, after you do this, it takes like maybe 20 to 30 minutes for it to onboard. And then it'll start showing up in device info, and it will show up in the devices. So you can see it like, gosh, where is this? Under assets and then devices. You should be able to like search it. I think Sam just did this. You just said it like wasn't onboarded, right? Windows host. It's like not showing up in here, but it should show up in here after it gets onboarded, and then the logs should start coming in. So yeah, just like try to do that, and then let me know if it works or not.
All right, well then, thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. It should onboard eventually, but it can take like quite a long time. So I just recommend people to just onboard.
I don't remember doing that manually with my other VMs though. That's the thing. Like, I guess like you said, it sometimes does it automatically. I just didn't remember doing that, but it's definitely been a while since I created one, so I may have just forgotten.
Yeah, I think show you something under. Oh my god, please just log in. Okay. Defender. There's like some settings where you can force it to onboard automatically, and I'm pretty certain that I told it to do that, but there's no like time frame. So let me see. CyberRange 1. So I think it's here. Maybe I got to do something for the other subscription. But oh, this is like the just Defender. Yeah, this is Microsoft Defender for cloud, and then servers, and then settings and endpoint protection. It's on. So I think it should just like onboard automatically, but for some reason it just like takes time. I don't know what the heck this. Oh, this automatic agent onboarding. So it should, but I think it's just like, you know, whatever. We have like, oh, sorry, go ahead.
Does the NSG have anything to do with that? Like should it affect it at all?
It shouldn't, because it should be able to onboard through, I believe it onboards through the management plane or the control plane. So there's like, the VM is like, this is hard to explain, but there's like, it's connected, like the backend is like connected to like the core of Azure via like the Azure Resource Manager. So Microsoft has like a direct connection to the virtual machine, and then the data plane part is like where the NSG lives, and that will block stuff from like the normal network or whatever. But there's like a hard connection to Azure Resource Manager, which I believe it gets onboarded via there. And I think the way that happens, this is a bit complicated, but Azure will send an API request to like the Azure Resource Manager, and then the Resource Manager will like execute a command like on the machine directly as the system account, and then that thing will like install the onboarding package. And I use the same mechanism to like, I don't know if you remember seeing like those like fake ransomware on the desktop. I use the same mechanism to like put those on there. I send like a command to Resource Manager on the back end, and then the system account will like put all that stuff on the virtual machine. And I'm like 99% sure that's how the Defender for Endpoint agent works. So it like completely ignores the firewall, I think.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, so like ARM diagram. Oh, that's like the wrong kind of ARM. It's kind of like, I don't know, this is like,
I definitely remember you going over this in the classroom module. I can't remember which one, but it was just definitely something I would need to go back to like get it in my, like actually saturate it.
yeah, it's good to go over stuff a lot. I can't explain it with this diagram because it's missing the data plane, but yeah, just let me know if it like doesn't onboard, or if you want like a deeper explanation. I can like,
Yeah, no worries. I've also like as one of the things with the LLM, I added a feature on mine, half with my due diligence and the other half was Copilot. But it doesn't ask me which model to go in. Like it just automatically does it based off the input tokens and the total token window, chooses which one it'll fit in. And but one of the things I wanted to say is I've been practicing a lot with like just programming with Mosh and like Neat Code and like any like just Python in general, trying to really get good at Python. And then I got pretty confident, but that's when I started trying to work and implement on like some of the things that you recommended with the agent. And did you write like most of the agent, or was that I don't know her name, but you said you have an engineer that writes a lot of code? Because anyway, my point is it's just extremely like over my head. And I think like it's you said it's like kind of like not complicated right now, and it's like something like but anyway, I just wanted to say that I think it's really impressive and kind of over my head, and it's definitely taken me a long time to kind of wrap my head around like all the features that are already implemented in it. And like when I was trying to figure out the the choose model method and the model management module, and basically that whole module, like it just made my head spin trying to figure that out. But I just think it's really awesome that it works anyway. So
oh, thanks. And like, don't feel bad, because to be honest, like I didn't just bang this out off the top of my head. I wrote this agent. I didn't Artie says the backend engineer who does all the code. I think she's in this call actually. Let me just like verify this. Oh yeah, she's here. Oh yeah. So I will have her go over this later, but she's like doing other stuff right now. But the way I go about writing this, basically, I know what's possible to do, and you know this too. Like, you know that you can use the API to like ask ChatGPT stuff, and you know that we can use like the Azure API to query log analytics, and we know that we can do like we can get input and output from the user, and we know that we can put the model information like in the code, like how big the window is and like how much it costs per 10 million tokens. We can like put all that in there. And then I know that there's some way that we can do some math and like figure out like what's best or whatever. And I can't, if I just sit down and try to like code that up, I can't do it. I can like draw like a flow chart like this because it is getting a bit complex. And we know that like we know we have to pick a model, right? But I don't know the best way to like do it with the code. But I will use like I know if I could do it myself and just take the time out, eventually be able to like figure it out. It'll just like take forever. I'm sure like you could too, right? Because you're at the level where you're like at least practicing with NeetCode and you can do stuff. It will just take a long time to do. So I use ChatGPT for like that model selection logic where it like dumps all that model stuff to the screen. It's all like basic mathematics, but it's like a lot of basic mathematics, and it's just like a lot to wrap my head around. So I know like exactly what you mean. So I don't want you to think that I didn't just like sit down and just like I'm gonna code this up and just like do it.
Yeah.
Like I know how to do those individual components. Like I know how to make like an if statement and like a loop, and I know how to make a dictionary, and like that's all it is. It just needs to be like put together in a way that makes sense. So I use GPT for like a lot of these, and I make sure like I know what it's doing or whatever before I give it before I like upload it as part of the course. But it is complex, but it's not as complex as like if we were like making an actual product that we're selling to people. It needs to have like more functionality and like more checks and stuff. But
The
yeah,
back end, like full stack engineers, like, and that back to Eden, like that, dude, if you're like full stack, my God, props to you. Cause I've been, for one, I'm like coming up on graduation. Like, I think it's super crucial to just to know program. And one thing you said, Josh, is like really hits with me. And I think it's so, I couldn't be more true. It's like math. They say that doing math like connects to left and right parts of your brain. Like it just like, something about it, like, and the same thing goes with coding. Like ever since I started, and it hasn't been like when I had college classes that required it, like object oriented, and I had to do it, like I would figure it out. I wouldn't really like sit down and try to understand it. But since like lately, I've been really trying to understand, like, for like you said, like while loops, if statements, for loops, understanding the different data types and how to access them. That logic translates into cyber like in every way, and it just helps you so much. And it's just been, for one, like I love it. I suck at it, but I love it. And it seems to me like I don't know, I just feel like to actually like real, and I know people like getting like really good jobs like entry level in cyber, but it seems to me like I don't know, I don't really feel like I could really be like confident in cybersecurity unless like I understand like systems well and can code pretty well, and like, I don't know. I knew like some people, it's because there's GRC roles, right, that you don't need to know that, but it just seems if you want to have like a technical role that like being comfortable with a coding language is like kind of a necessity, it seems like. I don't know. And this is coming from somebody who's not landed their first role yet. So, it's just kind of my perspective.
Like I said, bro, you don't need like coding for a lot of the cybersecurity stuff. Like Josh was saying, I'm the same way at coding. I remember before ChatGPT came out, you used to have to look on Slack and Reddit to try to find anything. Pretty much
Stack Overflow. Stack Overflow. Remember Stack Overflow?
Yeah. and like anything you can find. Cause back in the old days, how I learned how to code, I would just go buy like a full stack app that's like in the real world, and then I just reverse engineer and to see how it works, see how it breaks, look it up like that. That's how I learned how to code. But like I said, and then I kind of start understanding the loops and all that stuff. But even now, I forgot more code than what I'm doing now. But now, since I get back into the Gentic AI course, like I said, Josh did a great job on that foundation stuff. And ChatGTP, man, it is. Have I seen anybody who can just sit down and just hack code out? Hey man, go build me XYZ. Okay, I'll be back. And they won't look nothing up or ChatGTP. I ain't never seen it. I don't even know if I even see that guy or girl. Because all of us used to look up, we used to pull our hair out just to try to figure out one thing for days. But now we're like ChatGTP. We can just go in there and just like, all right, how to do this, what to do, because we kind of know how to put it together. So don't feel bad. Don't feel like because you don't know how to hack off the top of your head like Neo in the basement of Matrix. Don't feel bad, bro. And like, hey, you're doing good. You only been in the cyber range like 2 months, hey, about 6 months from now, you probably gonna be rocking.
Yeah, and I think that you doing like leak code and neat code, even in this day and age, is really, really useful, because like the best you can do is just understand like the flow of code and logic and data structures and algorithms. And then the other stuff, you always got to like use Google, because you're always like working with some obscure API or some other library. There's like, it's not possible to like know how to use it unless you look it up anyway. But if you have like strong coding ability, that's really good. So like I've been able to do like, my level of coding is like all of I use Algo Expert, not Leak Code, but all of the easy, like Algo Expert easies, and then all of the medium, no, like half of the mediums, to be honest. And like, that's all. And that's taken me like really far in my career. So people who be doing like Leak Code hard and very hard are like, really impressive. But
those went, I'll say I said neat code with an N, not an L. I tried to do lead code, and even the easy questions, I was like, good God, like, because you need to understand the DSA, and that is like the data structures and algorithms. Like, then I started getting into that, and I was like, okay, all right, let me back up even further. And I kind of like reverse engineered my own understanding of coding, right? Like, I started at lead code, then went to neat code, which they have a pretty good like 75 roadmap or something like that. It's like basically like a stepping stone to lead code. It takes like their easy questions, and they have like tutorials and stuff. But then that kind of felt like over my head. So I started doing some more research, and now I do, I'm on like day 15 of 30 days of Python. It's a GitHub repo. I'll paste it in here. And then programming with Mosh. And then there's another one I have somewhere, but oh, sorry.
Hey Jake.
Yo,
have you tried using FreeCodeCamp?
I've heard of it. No, I haven't tried it.
Okay, I think you should try using FreeCodeCamp, because I, in my opinion, I think it's a bit beginner friendly, right? So, and it takes you from like, it's more focused on taking you from like a front end engineer all the way to where you become like a full stack engineer. So it's bit-side, and it's just like the Cyber Range, where it is project based. So when you're building stuff with code, you're actually building labs and products, So I used it back in the day. I still use it now. I think my profile is still there, and I strongly recommend that you use FreeCodeCamp.
Okay, cool. I'll check it out for sure. Thank you.
Just out of curiosity, is FreeCodeCamp similar to NeetCode and LeetCode as well as Algo Express?
No, not really, because that teaches you more of logic. So the NeetCode, the LeetCode you talk about teaches more of logic. So, but FreeCodeCamp focuses more on creating stuff. So it's more on the creative side, right? So you learn HTML, you learn CSS, you learn JavaScript, and then as you continue to proceed and progress with the course, you get to a point where you're now building you now learn algorithms as well, and then you learn Python as well, and then you learn data visualization, and a whole bunch of stuff, all the way to where you become like like a full stack developer. So it's more creative based than logic based. So that way, when you build, say the front end, say you create the UI, the user interface, and the UX, you see how the back end works, and you see the interaction between the front end and the back end. I don't know if that makes sense. So that's what FreeCodeCamp does.
That sounds really like applicable, and honestly,
Yeah.
that
So
sounds-
it's not like, so it's like you design the front end, right? And then you go to the back end, and then you write your logic and you write your code, and you see how your app interacts, right? Unlike NeetCode or LeetCode, where you're just writing code, right? You don't really see how you don't have a visual. You don't really have a visual of what you're writing and what you're doing and how it plays out. I don't know if that makes sense.
it sounds like big picture, which is
Yeah.
super-
So when you do HTML, you do CSS, you talk about when input fields, for instance, how it interacts with your button. So when you click the button, and probably like you create like a login page, right? And then you go to the back end and you write some JavaScript code. You see how that takes the input, the button, and then send it to the back end to your database and then stores it out there. You get what I'm saying? Like, so you actually build stuff just like the cyber range. You get? So
Yeah, I'm
you build.
definitely
Yeah.
gonna check that out.
Yeah.
By the way, Josh,
I'm just gonna put it in
my onboarding work, that was all I needed to do. So thank you.
Oh, nice. No problem. Cool.
So we're coding that, and I sit in a free interview, and I'm pretty sure Josh have too, and we got a few other coders in here. I've seen people that can pass all the coding tests and algorithms, but they can't code and debug absolutely nothing. And I've interviewed some of those people. Now I've seen vice versa, where a person can pass none of the tests. They can't do an algorithm, but they can go on and debug and make stuff and get the job done. I was one of those guys. That's why most companies always hire me. And it was crazy and I would never even accept an interview that said 5 rounds and 2-3 coding tests. I'm like, I'm not finna do no coding tests. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing 5 rounds of interviews, but some companies kind of prefer that. And like I said, I would say build projects, bro. Like I said, I think the best project, if I had to do it all over again with the tools I got now, I'd take Josh Agentic AI course and I would break it down. I wouldn't do nothing else. I was going to just bug the heck out of ChatGPT. That's exactly because I got a full project, and I just go in and just break each line down. Hey, what is this? What is it doing? What's going on? Why is it doing it? And just keep doing it over and over and over. That's gonna get you far past people that's passing all these algorithm tests and taking all these things, but you get them in the real world, they don't know how to put none of that together. But that's 2 cents in this from my experience, and like I said myself. Like I said, because I've taken some of those classes, like, man, this ain't teaching me, let us teach me how to do math. I don't care about none of that. Because most companies like, hey, can you come in here and debug our stuff? It's crap. Can you come in here and fix it and update? That's all they want to know. But yeah, that's it.
Thanks. And then Kristen, thanks for being patient. I seen your hands up for like a while.
It's all good. I'm learning a lot. But I first want to say thank you for creating this space. I've learned so much. I'm mainly an IT project manager right now. I studied computer science, so I'm looking to be more technical and transition, I guess, that way. But the questions I have use more like job hunt, like based and stuff. So I saw your video on the 500K roadmap, and I was wondering, for like the different roles that you're talking about, those are like 1099, or like you have your own contracting business versus, you know, stacking a bunch of W-2s, right? It's like 1099.
Yeah. I don't remember what I did when I had 2 jobs. And someone please like interrupt me and like share their own experience. But I pretty much like kind of ignore whether or not it's 1099 or W-2. I almost like don't care, to be honest. And when I was doing it, I was a contractor at Microsoft, but I think the company that I was contracting with, I think I might have been a W-2 employee for that company. And then my other company, it was like King County. It was like a local government, but I was a contractor there. I'm pretty certain I was like 1099 with that company. So one of them was like W-2 and another one was 1099. But to be honest, like I don't know what the implications are between both of those, other than like I'm probably getting some like benefits as a W-2 employee, and the 1099 it tends to be like easier to get hired, and you tend to get more cash with less interviews, but your responsibility is less, and like the risk is higher. People feel like the risk is higher with 1099, but I pretty much ignore all of those. But what was your question? I'm so sorry. Maybe I like.
No, you answered it, because I think the thing that I worried about, especially as an IT PM, like one of my frustrations is how many meetings I have to do or like be a part of. And my goal with becoming more technical, either software development or vulnerability management, is getting away from all those, like, I guess, people facing. So like, how do you find the contracts, or I guess estimate if a role is going to be like more heavy, where the manager wants to be all in your face and things like that? So
Gosh,
So pretty much she's trying to stack them jobs.
yeah.
She's trying to stack them jobs, Josh. Pretty much that video Josh did at 500K, man, that pretty much breaks it down. That video probably put it in perspective. Then people like, oh, it's gonna be less pay. But then he did another video on the who get paid what, how many jobs there is, and it was almost average. And with most of the GRC and vulnerability management role, you don't have to really be in everybody's face too much, because everybody dodging you anyway, because they don't want their stuff scanned, they don't want no audits, they don't want you to ask them no questions. So they want to see you anyway.
That's good.
And so you get to the point where you can do most of your stuff through your DM, emails, while your audits are there, especially if you can did all the work. So you really don't have to have too many meetings. But that's just from my experience. What you think, Josh, with the GRC and vulnerability management?
Yeah, well, it really depends on like the company. I guess the more of an individual contributor you are, in the lower level, you will have like less meetings. And if you're a contractor, you'll have even less meetings.
Okay.
And Microsoft, I only work as a contractor at Microsoft, and they try to hire me as full-time many times, but I noticed like the full-time worker, they'll get like pulled all over the place, and they're like working a lot.
Yes.
And your scope of work is not just your job. It's just like you exist at Microsoft, and then they'll just like move you around to do like whatever.
Exactly.
And I don't like this. And I noticed like the contractor's scope of work is like way more narrow. I think there's laws around that probably in my state, but anecdotally, as a contractor, your scope of work is more narrow. And if you're technical, your meetings are less. And if you're more of an individual contributor, your meetings are less. But I don't really have a good way to find the contract jobs other than just like going to Indeed and then filtering for a contract. But even then, it's like, it's kind of hard. Yeah, I would have to like take time to formulate a good answer for like how to find contract jobs, because that's the only way I really know. Or just like searching for the word contract and like cyber or whatever other keywords you want.
Yes. No, that helps a lot, because like I was wondering how do you pick which role, and knowing which role would give you that less availability that they view. And then my other question is, I've been getting contacts from vendors about the same role. Not sure if anyone else ran into that, but like, do you know what that is? Are they still bidding for that contract?
Like many different recruiters will pitch the same role to you.
Yes.
Yeah, I've had that happen a lot actually, and I don't really know why that is. I assume the company like puts the bid out. I don't know if I can call it a bid or whatever it is, the job rec. I assume they like give it to like a bunch of contractors, and they're just like, okay, find me somebody, and then, or like a group of people, and then whoever like finds it first or whatever is the winner, and then the rec gets closed. I assume that's what's happening, but
Okay.
I'm not sure. But I know what you're talking about, because this happens a lot.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, that's it. That's it, Josh. Yeah, like I said, me, I don't care about W-2 or 1099 either. It don't matter. Like for me, long as they gonna pay me some good money, and they gonna have me doing nothing crazy and working after I get off work, I'm cool.
Awesome. That was all my questions. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for asking. I need to like, you're not the first person to ask me about the W-2 versus like 1099, like how to find them. So that might be like a really good idea for a video, because I think that's something people like really want to know about, and I don't have like a solid answer for it. So I'll do some research.
Awesome.
And then Saul, is it Saul or Saul? This is the last person, and then you guys can still stay on, but I have to go after this one. But how are you doing?
Hey Josh, how you doing today? Yes, it is Saul.
Oh, nice. I'm good. Just chilling out here in Osaka.
Yeah, I know. And I just had a question for you. Just wanted to get some advice because recently I had a systems admin interview, and I know I touched up on Azure, and I know these type of roles can seem very broad, but it looks like in the interview they were asking me to create a golden image in Azure and then to create an autopilot profile. And the question I wanted to get at is I know you said like when we're applying for roles, try to apply for both IT and cybersecurity, but when you're applying for these IT or IT or system admin roles, what is your recommendation to prepare for the interview? Because I know when they asked me to do it on the spot, it was a little bit shocking for me. But it's something I never did before. But,
Yeah.
Great.
I would just like, this is kind of a generic answer, but this is for sure what I would do. If I like really wanted to get the job and I had like enough energy to laser focus, I would get the job rec, like the job description, and I would really like dissect it with ChatGPT as much as I could. And then all the technical stuff on it, I would make sure that I could do it the best that I could. And I would lab it in Azure or wherever if I could, depending on what it was. And then I would also like use like, depending on the job, I would use like Blind or Glassdoor or something and see if like if there's like any other similar people who had like a similar experience with the interview, or how can I say, they had a interview with a similar role, and I would see like what the interview questions were, and I would just do my best to like do as much information gathering as I could, and then I would try to apply. And then if sometimes you might be working with a recruiter, and the recruiter has an incentive to get you hired because they'll get money. So if you can usually get a lot from the recruiter as well. But if you can't, I mean that's like too bad. But that's pretty much what I'd do. I don't know if anyone has like other stuff to add to it, but it's possible they throw something out of left field as well that's like has nothing to do with the job rec. In that case, like you just have to like, do your best, I guess. But yeah, that's how I would like prep for this.
No, I understand. Yeah, it was kind of a nervousing interview because it was a panel, and I was just getting grilled with questions, and then they're like, "Okay, let's do this lab now. Create me a golden," and I was like, "Oh, I had no clue." And they wanted me to do it in front of 4 people, and and they had a big screen up, and yeah, it was just shocking to see, but it's a good experience to learn, I would say, to be better prepared. But yeah, it was just a little bit shocking at that time.
Yeah, sorry about those like stuff can happen. But yeah, just like gather as much info as possible. Like, did they tell you like what they wanted in their golden image, or did they tell you anything, or they just were like, do it?
They didn't really tell me, like, because I told them I use Azure for my IT support specialist role, and then I use a little bit of it in the vulnerability labs, and they didn't specifically tell me. Like, they just said they want me to create a golden image, and the way I was doing it, if I'm being honest with you, is I was just clicking things and trying to find things the best way I could, and then creating an autopilot profile, that wasn't too hard for me. I knew how to do it. But it was just, I would say like it just caught me. I know some jobs do it, but I would say it just kind of caught me off guard. And I know I have another interview coming up Tuesday, and it's for a similar system admin role as well. But luckily, it's just one-on-one with the manager, and then
That's good.
go from there. So,
Yeah.
and it has a security clearance. So we'll see what happens there.
Hey, bro, what state you in? What state you in? And my other question is, so this your first sysadmin job, or you already in tech?
So I'm currently located in Georgia, and this is not I have a little bit of experience because I worked the IT support role, um, and I've only been doing it for 2 years. So I'm just trying to scale up. I'm not really picky when it comes to when I'm scaling up. It could be system admin, it could be cybersecurity. And as of right now, what I'm noticing from the job market, I can see it's very competitive. So I'm just like looking for jobs that people aren't too much sold on. And it seems like a lot of people aren't applying, for example, for like junior system admin roles or IT support roles and things like that. And then I'm also looking for like roles where it's security focus as as well, not just junior. Well, it has security responsibilities, but I believe it's better for me to diversify. I think system admin is a great way to diversify your skills, and not just the security, but the networks and everything like that. Sorry, I know I probably ramble on, but I hope that answered your question.
And I did want to say, like, keep in mind it's okay to ask for more information. If someone asks you to do something weird, you can ask like a lot of clarifying question. In fact, like a lot of times the interviewer is trying to like bait the candidate into like asking more questions. Like they'll ask you a question that requires you to ask more questions, and then just the fact that you asked them more clarifying questions, that's like a pass for their question, if this makes sense. Also, it's good to bear in mind that sometimes often the interviewer is either they're bad at their job, or they're asking stuff they shouldn't be asking, or they're like making mistakes, which I've run into a lot as well. But just like ask, but like just prepare as much as you can, and then ask clarifying questions if you need to. Like if someone asks me to do something and I ain't know how to do it, or I don't even like know what it is, I'll try to ask them as many questions as I can. And if I really like can't produce anything, I'll try to say something like, I don't have familiarity with this, but I have done like X, Y, and Z. So you might have, of course, it just depends on the vibe of the interview. But in your case, like if you couldn't produce anything, like I might have said something like, oh, I'm not familiar with like creating a golden image or imaging anything, but I have used Azure Virtual Machines in this capacity, because that's like maybe 5 points, where like doing nothing might have been like 0 points, something like this. So I would try to like speak to something that's adjacent that you have done, just as kind of a backup plan in case like something like completely like random gets thrown at you.
I agree. And then Josh, that brings me to my next question. I know that how do I word this? I know that everything we're doing is simulated on a real life enterprise like Azure virtual machine, but I remember like watching your videos, you said there's more that we can actually do. And I just wanted to give, for example, is it possible that maybe, I can probably come up with things and just do more with Azure than just using using the security tools or just anything like that? I was just curious because I know this is a security focused class, but I just I was curious to see if it was possible. I wasn't sure. Or excuse me if you already answered this in videos.
No, I didn't in depth, but I can like show something. So you can do a lot in the sense that it's relatively locked down, but I can open it up just depending on what people want to do. But for example, if I click on like a random user's resource group and I go to IAM, or like access control, and then I look at role assignments and then resource group. So these are like the current roles that everybody has these on their own resource group. So storage account contributor, it means like you're a storage account admin. And then virtual machine contributor means you're like a virtual machine admin, like on your own resource group. So I can add stuff to people's individual resource groups to let them use different Azure services. It's just the fact that it costs like certain resources cost like more money than others. So it just depends on like what you want to do. We can also make exceptions if you want to make more than one virtual machine. So for example, say you want to make like a network that has like a on-premises domain controller, a client computer, and then like another web server or something. Maybe we'd make an exception so you can make 3 VMs, and then you can make some kind of like small architecture that represents a corporate network or something like this. There's like pretty much like, I don't want to say infinite number of things, but you can do like quite a bit. It just depends. Currently, you're only like a virtual machine administrator, but there's more stuff that you can do. Like you can experiment with Key Vault or something like this, which is free. But just let me know if anything like comes to mind, or if you need help coming up with
No,
ideas.
definitely. No, definitely. You answered all my questions. I was just curious if it is a possibility, but if it's something that's, a lot of trouble, then I'll probably steer away from it. But it was just a curiosity thing. And I'll definitely get with you once I come up with, or let you know what I'm trying to do. And I appreciate you so much, Josh. You're doing good work. And
Thank you.
once again, I appreciate you so much. Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Thanks so much. Cool. No one's hands up. I have to go. It's like over quite a bit, and I have some stuff to do, but you guys can stay on if you want to chat with each other or anything like this. This will get recorded and it will get put in the classroom, so you can like watch it later too. See you later, Andrea. See you guys, everybody. Thanks for contributing and joining. Really appreciate it. And then good luck, Sam, as well with the content stuff. I'm excited to see like what you end up doing. Yeah.
Thank you. All right. Good night.
Yeah. Good night. See you. Bye.